From your enemies just never running away, to getting a literal nuke dropped on your head. There is something in this game that at one point or another has made you just want to put your hand through your monitor.
Look, I don't care. Just kill them all. I actually just can't. Like, I f***ing hate this.
I'm Khorne, and today I will be sharing with you my picks on what are the most rage-inducing enemies to fight in Total War Warhammer 3. Now this will be completely subjective, as everybody is gonna have different things they find to be infuriating. Or in the case of Slaaneshi enjoyers, pleasurable. But I have ranked all of these enemies based on how annoying I find dealing with them to be on both the battlefield and the campaign map. From them either being just a nuisance to outright making me quit campaigns.
I really hope that the AI stops being a player.
Certainly not.
Because this guy is just trying to be as annoying as possible at this point.
Going from least to most insufferable enemies to fight, sharing the number 5 spot will be Kislev and the dwarves. Now you might be wondering why these two races in particular. And well, have you ever fought a battle where you kill 99% of an enemy unit and they still refuse to run away?
You know how people will argue if you use proper tactics in this game? Like you can route anything, including dwarves? Oh yeah, I see how the tier 1 dwarf unit is easily routed, by the way. Single model remaining.
Yes, that is what you have to constantly experience whenever you're fighting against these two races. Dwarves just outright refusing to rout off the battlefield until they get army losses, or in the case of Slayers, not even then. As for Kislev, well, they have the Buyer Blood ability, which gives them a period of time where they will be unbreakable, which will completely screw you over when you least expect it to. This can be completely insufferable to fight against. Just an enemy that will refuse to ever break and will fight to the bitter end, or in the case where you're using missile-only armies, they can actually reach your units with just a few models and completely destroy your melee-inept army.
That guy. Alright, just... no, Goblin Hewers made it into melee. Get here. Goblin Hewers.
The funny part is that if the roles were ever reversed, you are cursing the fact that your units won't run away and live to fight another day, but will instead stay in combat and get wiped out by the enemy. If I had to choose one of these two that is worse to fight than the other, it is probably going to be Kislev. Just because basically every single one of their units also has a missile attack, which is extremely annoying to deal with.
Oh, I had to kill everybody. I had to kill everybody. Look at this. I literally killed 100% of their force. None of them ran off the battlefield.
Then the fourth most infuriating enemy to fight are gonna be the elf hobos, the goddamn wood elves. Why? Well, it's rather simple. Because they're an absolute menace on the battlefield. High range, high damage, high resistances, healing, terror, and a follower that lowers your leadership on the battlefield. Which can lead to situations like these.
Why am I not a bastard? Can somebody tell me? What is this? 31 leadership? It's no wonder they run off the battlefield. This guy has 26! 26 leadership! How are my brave men of the Empire supposed to fight with 30 leadership? Look at them. They're all just running off the battlefield. Every single one.
Fighting these hobos is an absolute nightmare no matter what you bring to the battlefield, as they will always be infuriating to deal with. And for whatever reason, the AI seems to be especially adept at using wood elf armies. Now, if all of the above wasn't bad enough, there is also the fact that their heroes get this completely bullshit ability, Arrows of Khorne, where they will shoot a barrage of homing arrows from across the entire goddamn battlefield and wipe out your best unit. Absolutely insufferable.
Right, have them blob up around you. That's annoying. That's gonna deal some damage to us. That's gonna deal some damage. That did literally kill 23. Oh, I hate this. I hate this ability. I so hate that ability.
Then there is the Birch Menace herself, Dryka, who is absolutely going to try and molest you whenever she can, with her increasing your cooldowns whenever she casts spells, or summoning a free unit of Dryads, or the fact she can instantly recruit an army of terror-causing monsters to spread your butt cheeks even harder. As if all of that wasn't bad enough, capturing Wood Elf territory is an absolute chore. Not because it's gonna be difficult, no, but because it is the same minor city siege every single time. You want to recapture an outpost city? Minor city siege. You want to fight one of their capital settlements? You guessed it, the same map. Third most insufferable enemy to deal with is gonna be the filthy rats. And where do I even begin with this one? Skaven are already really difficult to deal with on the battlefield, with limitless numbers of rats that, depending on your army composition, is either gonna be a chore to deal with or an absolute nightmare. But that is actually the fun part when dealing with them. No, the awful bit comes in the form of Menace Bellows, an army ability that spawns a unit of rats anywhere on the map, and is usually gonna go for your range units, either tying them down or outright killing them. This is annoying, but you can deal with this somewhat reasonably. Then come all of the quality units they can bring, most notably Plagueclaw catapults or weapon teams, which will in most cases just instantly kill your units. And still, this is the reasonable bit. No, the real pain comes in the form of Warp Lightning.
How does he keep casting? Please stop. I hate Warp Lightning. There we go, he's finally down.
As soon as I hear this sound, I already want to punch a hole through my monitor, because you already know pain is coming.
And here comes the Warp Lightning that there is no way I can dodge.
Usually never see where the AI casts the spell, and even if you do get so lucky, it casts so quickly that by the time you react, it is already too late, and it will kill 10 to 20 models of a unit. Spells that get cast instantly usually don't have enough damage to one-shot models, but for whatever reason, not Warp Lightning. We unfortunately still aren't done. No, there is still all of their campaign bullshittery the rat bastards can do. First of which is Ambush Attack, which, if you didn't know, there's a 25% chance that whenever the AI attacks one of your armies, you will get ambushed. But honestly, it feels more like 100%, as they seem to ambush you every single time. If you had a range-focused army, well, you can say goodbye to any future conquest you had planned for it. And if the above wasn't bad enough, as a final FU, we have Skaven Plague. Because why not? It reduces your growth, economy, causes attrition for every army affected by it, preventing replenishment, making difficult situations worse, and overall, making you want to commit rat genocide. Second most insufferable enemy to fight in Warhammer 3 are going to be rogue armies.
Why? Why?
Now this might not seem such a big deal, but you gotta realize they spawn in at random, in random locations, with varying army compositions that can range from being a Beastman faction to Vashnar's conquest. So you could be conquering elsewhere, and just a random Doomstack appears in the middle of your territory and proceeds to raze everything to the ground. That isn't even the worst part of it though. Because the worst part comes when you see the AI basically pull a player move on you and keeps a single lord away from any fighting.
That's the only army they have. They probably have a army. They probably shat out an army somewhere. Yeah, there we go.
I think not.
Yeah, they definitely shat out an army there, and they're like,
So whenever you manage to kill their main army, that single lord will multiply and recruit full stack armies every few turns, which will then, again, go for all of your undefended territory. And if you think you can just hunt them down, that one lone lord the AI sent away, well, think again, because they will just force march away from you into the fog of war, forcing you to trespass on your neighbors and overall just waste resources. So if you can't kill them as soon as the random army spawns in, you are in for a world of pain and the most annoying game of cat and mouse you have ever played.
Next time we move.
Oh, there we go. Found it.
Not possible.
This needs to get the hell out of here.
Now, before we unveil the most infuriating enemy to deal with in this game, there is an honorable mention for something that is an enemy in this game, but not a specific race or faction. And that is the AI itself.
What? You cowards! Come back here!
Unlikely.
What a bitch!
Create chaos!
Never have I ever had the pleasure of fighting such an insufferable AI in any game I have ever played. The AI in Warhammer 3 is the biggest absolute coward you have ever seen.
You're running away. You're the endgame crisis. You don't get stronger than this. Guys, by the way, the AI is totally not cowardly and is in fact very, very brave. Very, very dangerous, in fact. Brave, dangerous, mighty AI. Yes, yes.
If the odds of winning for the AI are even slightly not in its favor, it will just bolt away from your armies towards any of your undefended settlements. So the game just turns from being a grand strategy with epic battles to playing a game of settlement defense where you chase after the AI's armies before they sack all of your territory, all the while refusing to engage you in battles. This behavior from the AI is the sole reason why I have quit so many of my campaigns, just because of how unfun it is to chase after its armies while they ruin everything you have built up.
It's like if we didn't do a ring around the rosies with Marcus Wolfhard over here, like for 10, 15 turns, that's kind of like what killed me for this campaign, right? Using a army I don't enjoy, so, right? Playing ring around the rosies with Marcus Wolfhard, that's what actually killed me.
And now, for the number one, most obnoxious, most insufferable, rage-inducing enemy in Warhammer 3, it is going to be Tzeentch. Whenever you meet this bird, always, and I do mean always, declare war on it. Because if you don't, you can say goodbye to your settlements, as he doesn't even need to attack you to claim them.
Oh, he stole a settle. Oof. If the AI did to me, I'd be really pissed off. They actually stole a tier 4 capital settlement from the Greenskins. I'd actually be mad. Like, I would actually just quit the campaign. If they stole a tier 4 settlement of mine, yeah, I would just instantly alt F4. No.
The AI absolutely loves stealing your settlements with its changing of the ways. And since you are the player, you are always going to be its prime target. And don't think there aren't any more changing of the ways he can do to infuriate you. This is just the only one you can avoid. So for example, he can halt any one of your armies for a turn, which can either be just a nuisance or a death penalty, depending on where the army is located. Then he has a unholy manifestation, which he will use to cause you attrition and prevent you from replenishing for multiple turns. This one might not be as painful as Skaven Plague, but it is just as annoying. Now, if this wasn't all bad enough, there is still teleport stance. So you remember how Skaven have stock stance, which has a 25% chance to ambush you? Well, against stock stance, you can actually defend yourself by going into encamp stance and getting ambush defense chance. Teleport stance, on the other hand, doesn't give a single fuck about your encamp stance. This thing has a 100% chance to ambush you no matter what. And if you're ever in range of a Tzeentch army, well, good luck, because they will almost always use teleport stance to engage the battle. And if you thought we were done here, we still haven't even talked about battles. As if getting ambushed non-stop wasn't bad enough, Tzeentch is also one of the most difficult enemies to fight in the battlefield. With Barrier, to make them ridiculously resistant to taking damage, most of their units having a ranged attack that will instantly kill half your army, and almost every single one of their heroes is a spellcaster. This all just makes it so that every battle is an absolute nightmare to fight. And then there is the army ability.
Start shooting at this. There it comes. Right, try and kill the Mucilis Vortex Beast. I hate that ability so much.
The one that will basically delete half of your army no matter what you do, with ridiculous damage and a huge radius. If you ever take a defensive position, you're dead. If you ever blob up, you're dead. If you ever rush the enemy in melee, you think the AI cares if it kills its own units? You're dead no matter what you do. Just an absolute bullshit ability that is the cherry on top of the gigantic turd the AI will force you to eat whenever you fight against Tzeentch. Now, these are my personal picks, and I know there will be some masochists that actually enjoy fighting against these enemies. But I would like to hear what your guys' most frustrating enemies to fight are. So do leave a comment. If you enjoyed the video and would like to watch more of these, don't forget to subscribe for future content. Thank you all for watching, and until next time.
Am I winning the campaign? Technically. Am I having fun while doing it? Debatable.
Khorne fights as one.